Hi, I'm Cindi McGee, and you're watching Polymer Clay TV. Today's project is inspired by this butterfly image that I found online. For the base of the slab that I'm making, I'm using Sculpey Primo White, and I'm going to use a slice of this that I'm going to condition and roll through the clay machine to a setting number 3. To mimic the spattered sort of watercolor effect in the background, I'm using an assortment of PanPastels in colors that best match the original pattern. And I'm just using my craft knife to scrape off small amounts and create specks of the PanPastels in the different colors over the surface of the clay sheet. Once I've added all the colors to the surface, I'm placing a piece of parchment paper over the surface and rubbing the surface to embed those different little particles of the different colors into the surface of the clay sheet. Carefully lift it up and place it aside, and if you want to add some more of those little particles of PanPastel, go ahead and do that now, and then repeat with the same piece of parchment paper. Now it's time to add our butterflies. I'm using 2 shades of Deco Americana Multi-Surface Satin. This is a dark gray and black, and I'm going to blend them together to make a darker gray. And begin with the first butterfly. This is the butterfly silkscreen from CreateAlong.com. You want to place it with the colored side against the clay sheet, and then use your squeegee or your scraper to add the paint and screen the image. Place a couple of the first butterflies that you choose randomly here and there on the sheet, and then go ahead and wash that sheet right away so that the paint doesn't dry on it, and let those first butterflies dry on the surface. Once they're dry, go ahead and use that same paint and move on to the next butterfly that you want to use and place some of those. And you can use the third one if you want. Allow some of them to extend off the sheet. We want them collage style, sort of here and there and everywhere. And make sure you wash that sheet well, the silkscreen well, and let them dry on the surface of the clay. If you refer back to that original photo that inspired it, you will see that the butterflies have color over the surface. They're not just black. What I'm doing is taking that piece of parchment that we used to press in that first set of speckled PanPastel and placing it back over the surface and rubbing it, and more will transfer. And then I'm using my finger to add color to the wings of the butterflies. I chose my colors based on that original image, but you can change them as you would like. Next, we're going to add the first layer of a very subtle floral or print effect. I'm going to use my paisley silkscreen, paisley field from CreateAlong, and another floral that I have from CreateAlong, and the PanPastel, and add it. I'm using white PanPastel. I'm going to add it here and there over the surface to add a subtle pattern over the layers so far. And here's the finished veneer or slab to make my projects with. My butterflies are obviously much closer together than they were on the original print, but I like the overall effect of the speckled PanPastel and the colored butterflies very much. Next, I'm using some DecoArt matte metallics, and this is a pearl color, and I'm going to use those same silk screens that I used with the PanPastel and just add touches of silk screened image over some areas of the butterflies. Be sure to wash that silk screen right away and let the paint dry on the surface. Now it was time to make some jewelry with my finished veneer. I'm using an assortment of cutters from CreateAlong.com. I'll list these in the description so that you can find the cutters that I chose, or you can use whatever cutters that you have that you would like for your project. After I cut out all of my elements, I baked them according to the manufacturer's instructions and let them cool. After they cooled from baking, I added a coat of liquid clear Sculpey to the top of each one, just a thin coat, and baked them again, and then used a heat tool to bring out a little shine. I used copper DecoArt metallic luster around the outside edges and backs of each of the pieces, and I used copper findings to finish my earrings. For more inspiration, join our Polymer Clay Tribe Facebook page. Over 18,000 members sharing projects every day. For lots more creative polymer clay ideas, visit the Polymer Clay TV blog.